Before it became a wasteland, Krieg was a bustling hive world of the segmentum tempestus. It produced weapons, materials, and men for the Imperium. But power breeds arrogance, and arrogance, rebellion. Its ruling body, the Council of Autocrats, grew resentful of the administratum. They saw Terra's demands not as sacred duties, but as theft. The more they resisted, the more paranoid they became. Eventually, they turned away from the light of the Emperor. In 433 M40, Krieg officially seceded from the Imperium. The High Autocrat renounced the throne and declared Krieg independent. In a galaxy ruled by faith and loyalty, this was not a political move. It was heresy. Civil war erupted across the planet. The rebels vastly outnumbered the loyalists. Victory for the traitors seemed inevitable. And then came Jurten. Colonel Jurten, commander of the 83rd Krieg Regiment, held the city of Ferrograd, one of the last loyalist strongholds, isolated, surrounded, doomed. But Jurten had something the rebels didn't: resolve, and a secret. Beneath Ferrograd, hidden deep in Mechanicus vaults, slept the relics of destruction, nuclear warheads, ancient and forbidden. Jurten made his choice. On the day of the Emperor's ascension, he unleashed a barrage of atomic fire upon Krieg itself. The planet burned. Nuclear firestorms engulfed the cities. Earthquakes cracked the crust. Skies choked with radioactive ash. In seconds, the planet was transformed. No longer a hive world, but a tomb. And yet, some lived. In bunkers and vaults, survivors emerged, both loyalist and rebel. The war was not over. It had simply changed. What followed was 500 years of subterranean warfare. No reinforcements, no support. Just generation after generation fighting in darkness. Each new child was born in a bunker, handed a lasgun before they could speak. The war became their identity, their religion, their only purpose. And through this crucible of attrition, something new was forged. A culture of complete devotion to war, to sacrifice, to the Emperor. When the Imperium finally returned to Krieg in 949 M40, they didn't find rebels or ruins. They found soldiers, billions of them, hardened, silent, ready. Krieg was dead, but from its ashes, the Death Corps had risen. The Departamento Munitorum considered Krieg a lost cause. But when Krieg delivered 20 fully armed, fully trained regiments without being asked, the administratum took notice. Since then, Krieg has been a foundry of flesh and blood for the Astra Militarum. Its population exists for one reason: to produce soldiers for the Emperor. These are not conscripts. They are not volunteers. They are bred, trained, and broken into weapons. From birth, they are taught that to die in the Emperor's name is the highest form of honor. The Death Corps are not expected to survive. They are expected to fight until they can no longer move. Training begins at birth. Recruits are subjected to grueling physical and psychological conditioning. Any trace of fear, ego, or hesitation is crushed. Only obedience remains. Survival is not guaranteed. In fact, it's rare. The final test is the surface. Recruits are deployed into Krieg's irradiated wastelands. There they dig trenches, defuse mines, conduct mock battles, all under lethal conditions. The smallest tear in a mask means death. Those who survive are accepted, not praised, not congratulated, just assigned. And from that moment on, they are Death Corps. In battle, the Death Corps follow one doctrine: attrition. They advance under heavy fire. They hold the line in silence. They dig in where others flee. They are famous for their trench warfare, relentless artillery, and mass infantry assaults. Their lines do not break, because they would rather die than retreat. Wounds are not treated with compassion. There are no medics, only quartermasters, officers responsible for equipment, and mercy killings. A wounded soldier who cannot return to the fight is granted the Emperor's peace. His weapon is reclaimed, his body left behind. To the Death Corps, mercy is found in death. Some rise through attrition. The Grenadiers are the elite, Veterans who survived annihilated squads and carry heavier armor and weapons. They are sent to breach fortifications, destroy entrenched enemies, and lead suicidal charges. Then there are the Death Riders, Krieg's cavalry. Mounted on Krieg steeds, genetically engineered war horses, bred in mechanicus vats, they charge through smoke and fire, trampling foes under hooves of iron. They are held in reserve, deployed when a breakthrough must be exploited, or when the line must not fall. Their silence is legendary, their charges unstoppable. There is a rumor, persistent, whispered, and never confirmed, that the soldiers of Krieg, like their horses, are not born but grown. Artificial wombs, cloning vats, controlled gene sequencing to eliminate mutation. It would explain how a radioactive husk of a world continues to supply billions of flawless soldiers. But the Imperium does not ask questions, not when the soldiers arrive on time, not when they follow orders without hesitation, not when they die without complaint. The truth, whatever it may be, is buried, like everything else on Krieg, beneath layers of ash and silence.